Welcome back to our Midsummer Live Into 5D Waking Up Our Nature podcast. In today's Midsummer's Astro Forecast episode, NLP coach, educator, intuitive energy healer Vicchi Oleski is joined by astrologer Reverend Sibyl Starr. The theme for this Leo season seems to be follow while being ignited and inspired by the heart's passion. Let your light shine. Sibyl describes how the divine spark in each one of us is the star of consciousness, our sun expressing the energy of life force, vitality, and creation. She also touches on how this time of Leo season is preparing us for a big shift in consensus reality. The current reality is not truly how we collectively perceive it, agree to, and or accept. Yet reality as the collective experiences it will be changing this fall. My goodness. Stay tuned, stay awake, and fearless. Thank you for joining us, and thanks to all the guests on Live Into 5D Waking Up Our Nature podcast. Now let's welcome Sibyl Starr. Welcome everyone. My name is Vicchi Oleski, and I'm here with astrologer Sibyl Starr for today's Live Into 5D Waking Up Our Nature podcast. Welcome, Sibyl. We've had you are our monthly astrologer, and today's podcast we're going to be focusing on the season of Leo, July 22nd into August 21st-ish.
Yeah, right. Right around there. Mm-hmm.
I am very thrilled to hear what you have to say, because in my world, things have been heating up. And knowing Leo is the second fire sign, it's already gone through 4 of the other elements, and we're in the middle of summer. So tell us what's going on.
With Leo, okay. Well, Leo is a fun energy. But first off, I want to say Leo is very much about letting our light shine. That is the essence of Leo. It is ruled by the sun. And it, like you said, it is the second fire sign. In Aries, there is the burst of fire. It's that burst that gets us going. But Leo is more of a sustained fire. And so a part of it is about feeding the flame in your own heart. That sustained feeding of your own flame to be able to express that in the world. Leo, like I said, is ruled by the sun, and the sun is our star of consciousness in our solar system. And in astrology, it represents the divine spark within each one of us, that light of creator, its life force, its vitality. And the goal of Leo is to share that life force, to let it be seen, okay, in the world.
You know what I'm hearing, and the Wizard of Oz and the lion.
Oh, yeah.
And that, like you could just feel his heart energy, but he almost didn't have enough chi enough confidence.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Leo does rule the heart. I mean, physically, it's one of the ones that rules the physical heart. And it is a very warm-hearted kind of an energy, as well as lion-hearted. It's about courage too. Courage to let yourself be seen, because the sun represents our genius, what was given to us by Creator that no one else has but you. And having the courage to let that light shine in the world, because that's what you came to do.
Yeah, beautiful. So here we are.
Yeah.
honoring it, and what are the beautiful aspects, transits that are going to be tailored
Happening.
Leo through?
Okay. Well, first off, we have the new moon in Leo, which is at 5 degrees. So it means the sun and the moon are in Leo on July 28th at 10:56 a.m. Pacific. And so the sun is conjunct Ceres, and Ceres is well, they call her a dwarf planet. She used to be an asteroid. Anyway, they promoted her. And she is one of the archetypes of the Great Mother. The word cereal comes from her. And it's how we feed and nurture ourselves, how we care for ourselves is one of her meanings. And so in Leo, it's about play. Play is sacred. It's Leo is one of the one of the archetypes of Leo is the divine child, and it reminds us how important it is, just to ride down the hill on a big wheel. You know what I mean? That feeling, that joy, that celebration of life, to nurture ourselves with that. And it's also it's basically whatever lights the flame in your heart. Okay. And
Mhm.
it's trine Jupiter. Jupiter's at 8 degrees of Aries, another fire sign, and Jupiter opens doors. And in Aries, it's open. It opens doors when we take risks, and it's self-initiating. And it's about opening the doors that open by following your passion. I have a quote here I want to share because this is really the crux, I think, of one piece of this new moon. It is: don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive.
Oh, yeah. And I
That's
just
what this is about. Yeah.
I just feel like the leading from the heart,
Yes, it
that
is.
real energetic, kind, warm, open-hearted,
Right. It's
welcome.
that old saying, follow your bliss. And, we can say, oh, but I got this to do, I got that to do. And it's all true. And still, follow your bliss because you will not be led wrong. If it brings joy in your heart, this is your path.
Yeah.
And doors will open.
Well, beautiful. And
Yeah.
I'll just have to kind of make a little note here. July 28th, new moon is the launch of best practices. So,
Right.
and I didn't know that. I was just gone with the energy. And then I decided July 28th. And then I looked and I was like, oh my God,
There you
perfect.
go. Perfect. Well, there's another piece happening. And now at the new moon, it is there, but it's exact on July 31st and August 1st. And so the planet Uranus in Taurus at 18 degrees is conjunct Mars at in Taurus at 18 degrees, conjunct the North Node at 18 degrees, all at 18 degrees of Taurus. And what I have read is this exact aspect has not happened for 177 years. It's a big, big aspect. And Uranus is very much about change. It's about breakthrough. Okay.
Mhm.
Mars is an activator. It's a catalyst. It's like, okay, so, and the North Node is the way forward. It's like our North Star. And so it's like there's big breakthroughs that have been wanting to happen, but when Mars comes along, it just kind of explodes. It's like, it happens. Okay. And I feel like it's about breaking new ground. It's about breakdown or breakthrough. And often it could be both. First having a breakdown, then a breakthrough. It's kind of like, maybe let's just say we're looking at this Leo new moon energy about following, your passion, and thinking, oh, well, I can't do it. I can't do it, because I've got all these responsibilities. And then, but then you have it like a breakdown, because whatever it is you're trying to do isn't working.
I'm also, North Node is in Taurus.
Right.
And, Taurus the bull with that Mars energy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, some people are actually predicting, some type of violence, because that can happen with Mars and Uranus. Now, if this were in Aries, I would say absolutely. But since it's in Taurus, it feels more like a slow burn and ability to have a major breakthrough. Just simply have a major breakthrough in some area in your life where you have been stuck. Uranus comes along when we're stuck.
Well, the archetypes of, say, Aries, the ram, and it's like, boom, it's
Right.
like running start.
Right.
Taurus is like, it's been pushing up against this thing for a while.
Oh, there you go. And then you
You know,
have the breakthrough.
like the energies of those archetypes are completely different. So
Right.
I'd say, yeah, the
Yeah.
breakthrough is like part of the breakdown.
Yes. Absolutely. And the other thing is, what I want to say is, and Uranus and the North Node have been traveling together, and they're going to continue traveling together for a while. But it feels to me like mm, we are moving through some pretty dense material. Okay. and the and the way we have to move through it is through our own inner guidance. And so it's about having the ability to follow the energy. Okay. But the energy isn't a straight line, it is like moving through the rapids. And it's like Taurus is so much about staying present, staying centered within yourself in the present moment. So I feel like it's being able to follow the kind of like the rapids, and until you have the breakthrough. You know what I mean? Um, to follow your own inner guidance, you need to be centered and present to be able to feel the energy so that you can follow it. And it's about being flexible. Taurus is not flexible. Taurus does not like change. But Uranus is about making us uncomfortable. And so it is in those uncomfortable spaces where we have to be fully present to be able to make choices, and where the change happens.
Mm-hmm.
Does that,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, totally. I'm listening and I'm recalling a couple moments of kayaking in the ocean and how, you know, I could, having a great time, lots of fun, very playful. And it was during summer, late summer, so Leo, but I was paddling and I could literally feel the energy from the deep ocean, the water coming through my body, and how, to get back to the shore, I literally had to just kind of paddle with that,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and
Yeah,
just kind of follow the rhythm and the energy of that,
right.
you know.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And like I said, Taurus does not like change, but this is an aspect of change and breakthrough in places where we've been stuck. But to do that, we have to get out of our comfort zone and be willing to do just that. Follow the energy. Let go of the control and follow the energy.
Right, right. What, just real briefly, for a practical exercise, what would you tell the listeners, like at this point, like what to look out for, like what areas of their life, how would they
Well, okay,
know?
one would be finances. Taurus
Uh,
rules finances. There's a big, and I feel like we may also have some really big surprises coming around finances. And the thing is, it's about being able to trust. We are, like I said, we're moving through times of great change. We are going to make it to the other side, and I see it, but we're not there yet. And the financial, the economy there's big changes coming in that. And so it's how to trust that you will be taken care of and to follow the energy there, to listen to your inner guidance, of how to take care of yourself, and and to recognize that safety is something that it comes from within, not from without.
yeah,
It absolutely does. And that Taurus is one of the signs that is very concerned about financial safety. And we are, well, I know what someone said. I was saying we're in times of great uncertainty. Someone said that a better way they heard to say that is that we are navigating the mystery. That's what we're doing. And so I would say in the realm of finances, especially, and in food, we know these food shortages are coming, we're seeing it everywhere. And of course, prepare, but trust as well. We will be taken care of. It's like, yeah.
I think that that's so, I love that, navigating the mystery, because sometimes when we prepare thinking about what's coming, we go into constriction.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the new way and the way that you, is to kind of sit back and get grounded in that presence of something's different, things are changing. And meanwhile, things are still how they are, to be
Exactly.
present. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, and so and I think Saturn is also involved in this. It's just a little further out, but it's coming in. Saturn's at 23 degrees. Oh, Saturn's very involved in the full moon. We'll get to that in just a minute. But I feel like we're preparing for this Uranus-Jupiter square, the last one that is happening in the fall, which is very intense. And I feel like in the fall, we're going to be seeing a big shift in consensus reality. I think that we are understanding reality is not really as we see it. We've all agreed that this is our reality, but it's changing. Reality is changing, and we are changing.
Here's what I love about our podcast is that, we're talking with you about astrology. And a couple episodes back, Gail Swift, who's been in a nurse like yourself, she did an amazing podcast on consensus reality. So any of you listeners, please look at that if you have any inkling on, what's that about, and how are you able to open, because we're all in our own little boxes. We have our, as awake as I am today, won't be as awake as I am tomorrow.
Exactly.
So check out the podcast, but please continue, because I think that that's really helpful for people.
Yeah.
So that's coming in October.
That's coming in October. It's preparing. It's kind of like a plane coming in for a landing now. We're starting to feel it. And I feel like the astrology of the coming months of August and September are preparing us for that. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Now, and of course, the important thing is always about ways to increase, your frequency. Uranus is so much about consciousness. And so, being very aware, of what goes into our bodies, elevate our thoughts, where we focus our energy, awareness of what's in our field. And, the number one thing is to remember that we are projecting our inner reality into the outer world. The outer world is being created by each of us.
Yogananda speaks about that. And when I read and study his work, it's fascinating to really understand that theory and then to use it as a practice here around projections, perceptions, what you hear, how you respond.
And where you focus your thoughts and your energy. And let's just say, on Saturday Night Live, they used to have this character called Debbie Downer, and no matter what was going on, Debbie would bring everything down. So it's like kind of like maybe, choose to not hang out with Debbie Downer now.
Right.
Not that you can't love her and wish her well from afar, but she doesn't have to be in your field,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. So anyway, one more thing, and that is the full moon in Aquarius at 19 degrees of Aquarius and opposite the sun at 19 degrees of Leo on August 11th at 6:37 p.m. And Aquarius is so much about letting go of the need for approval and being true to yourself.
Oh.
Yeah. And the Leo Aquarius axis is about the divine light of God in me honors the divine light of God in you. It's namaste. And to know that is really the Leo Aquarius axis. And to know that is up. It's about giving and receiving love. Now, the moon is conjunct Saturn. And Saturn, is Saturn's I think at 22 degrees, and the moon is at 19. Anyway, so your security may feel threatened without approval of the group. It feels like it's about peer pressure, and we know just how significant that has been. And so I did want to share this because I think it is important. So I don't know if you've heard of this guy in Belgium. His name is Matthias Desmet. He's from Belgium. Anyway, he wrote a book called The Psychology of Totalitarianism, and out of it came a concept of mass formation hypnosis. And those are the kind of things that happened in Nazi Germany, when people would come together and, no facts or anything would really interfere with their process. It's like collective hypnosis whenever there is a threat of a high level threat of fear. Is what it talks about. And he talks about the four conditions that kind of lie below it. It says it's four conditions due to the more mechanized society in which we live, which the components are loneliness, isolation, and isolation, lack of meaning in life, free-floating anxiety, and then scapegoating a person or a group to blame for how people feel. There is a sense of when you belong to a group, it kind of deals with the loneliness, and then the lack of meaning, and then the free floating anxiety because you have someone to blame. Okay, and facts don't matter, and governments know how to use this. I mean, they're very aware of this.
They've been
And,
using
yeah.
this trick for many, many years.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so I feel like the piece that has come, that how this relates to this, it's about breaking out of the mass formation hypnosis by activating your passion and what fuels the flame of your heart and being true to yourself. And through that, you connect deeply with yourself and creator. When your inner flame of life force is burning bright, you don't have the desire to participate in the drama of the outer world. That was another piece I wanted to mention was, is to really don't participate in the drama that's going on out there, because it is. This is really about the Leo is about lighting the flame of in your own heart, your passion, and it gives meaning to life and relieves anxiety. Let's just say you're on an art project, like you're like with your podcast, all the time that it takes, you're not able to participate in all the drama that's going on. It's like, this is what's pulling you. This is what's driving you,
Right.
Yeah. And it's also, being aligned with what you are creating, not the world that is collapsing.
I love this, Sibyl, because as the Leo represents the divine child, what I keep getting is like when we reparent ourselves or we parent a child, how sometimes we or they get into some business that is messy. You absolutely know that the child's going to have a tantrum or is having a tantrum, and to immediately identify, oh, I'm having a tantrum or they're having a tantrum, and to guide their energy into a more resourceful way.
Absolutely. Yes.
that is what I keep hearing in this situation that you're talking about that we're going to be moving through. Also, that podcast with consensus reality. Don't feed the fire. I mean,
Right.
we want to feed our passion. I don't mean the mess.
Right. The
The
drama. The
drama.
drama. The drama.
Yeah.
Don't feed the drama. Right. Feed the flame in your heart.
Right.
And what you are creating, not because the more you feed the flame of the drama, you're feeding the collapse, and anyway, but it's always about raising our own frequency. That is how we change the world, and love is the only way. There is no other way. It comes from the heart, and it's leading with the heart, and it's love.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful things to look forward to in the next 30 days. And before we got on, we were talking about what's new for you with your readings. You were telling me a little bit about that. Can you just give us a
Right.
brief?
Yes. Well, I have always had a love of the Star Nation. I have, a blog called Star Nation Oracle. And I have found a course that is really helping me see what I'm calling our cosmic DNA in our chart, our star lineages. And what I have, and the question I asked myself, how is this helpful? And the answer I got was, when we remember who we are, we remember why we came, what our mission is. And I feel like this is what it is helping people do. Remember who they are and why they came, what their mission is. At this point, I'm weaving it into my astrology readings. In the fall, I'm going to have a separate a separate reading that is called our cosmic DNA astrology. So, but they'll be woven into all my readings.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm getting goosebumps. Thank you so much for today's podcast. Definitely look forward to the new type of readings. What are you calling that again? Cosmic DNA?
Cosmic DNA astrology.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sibyl. Sibyl Star Astrologer, Vicchi Oleski, Live into 5D, Waking Up Your Nature. Namaste.